Welcome to the ArmChair GM Podcast. I'm Chris, and that's Dylan. Okay, let me set the stage. The Calgary Flames, they're last in the league, but they managed to win a couple of games. So what are they going to do? They're going to take the next step and go for a run for the playoffs? No, they're just not going to score a goal for 121 minutes. But of course, thankfully, ownership's going to demand we make some change, right? Also, no. Murray comes out and says, I love the core of the team, and I'm not interested in trading Kadri. Shooter love being a Flames fan. You are watching the ArmChair GM Podcast.
Being a Calgary Flames fan and watching the team, the ownership, the players, and the management all be completely unable to see what's actually happening clearly in front of their faces, that this team is not good. They are looking at last October when the Flames went like fucking 6-1 or whatever it was. Like that's what this team is. Even though they've had 13 months of this team not being that, and they just can't move past it. It's like beating your head against a brick wall being a Flames fan right now, watching and listening to all of this. Now, my question to you is, Murray Edwards, obviously, like you said, came out and said he's not treating Kadri. He likes the core of the team. Posturing or true?
I feel like it's posturing. I think it is a way to increase value, to get teams interested, to have sports media talking about the Calgary Flames in a trade type scenario. These are all things that I hope. Fuck, I hope. I really do. Surely they're not that stupid. Right? Surely.
You'd like to think so.
Yes.
I'm having a hard time separating within my own brain if I think it's posturing because I'm trying to keep myself sane, or if I'm saying it's posturing because it's actually that. But I do think it's posturing because since when does fucking Murray Edwards come out and say literally fucking anything, right?
Yeah.
Literally never. Like I can't remember the last time there was a tweet about him at all,
right.
or anything like that, right?
Yeah,
now,
absolutely. Who did he say it to?
I can't remember. I want to say it may have been David Pagnotta, or maybe it was Francis. I don't remember. I do remember it being like a actual, beat writer.
Right. You would think they'd have some audio of it or something.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm trying to keep myself. I think that's what it is. I think I'm trying to keep myself sane because if you look at the past, like even the recent past, since Conroy's become the GM, they traded Markstrom because they already had a player who was quote unquote ready or looked ready and a solid backup. They had a plan ready to take that position, right? They traded Hannafin and Tanev and Lindholm because these guys were expiring. Their deals were expiring and they weren't resigning, or they weren't resigning excuse me, for a decent enough rate that Conroy was going to do it. So that he was kind of forced into that. And he traded Nikita Zadorov because he was being a piece of shit in the locker room. So he's only traded players who there is either a plan for, like to take over for, or is a piece of shit in the dressing room, or is expiring, or multiple. Because let's be honest, as much as I'm a Elias Lindholm fan, he was kind of being a mopey little shithead, and so was Markstrom. Tanev, no, but all of those guys were not going to resign. Actually, I don't know if Tanev would have resigned or not, but you know,
I feel like Tanev would have.
yeah,
But I mean, who knows, right? Water under the bridge, that is.
yeah.
But yeah,
So
I mean that's true.
let's
That's true.
go
But
ahead.
what do you think about the current state of morale and what appears to be just a bad state of mind from the whole team, and it seems to have been since game one. Like, is there somebody in the locker room now that's being a dickhead? Is the Anderson trade
Is
contract, whatever you want to call those talks, is that a distraction in the room?
I mean, that was never not going to be a distraction.
Yeah.
I like Anderson. I don't see him as the Markstrom type. I see him
Mhm.
as like I think Markstrom's a fierce, or not Markstrom. I think Anderson is a fierce competitor. I don't like he's his play has gone downhill. Started 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago,
Mm.
but his play has gone downhill. But his attitude and his fire has never really waned, in my opinion. And I just don't see him being a problem. I could see the outside noise surrounding him being a problem. But the funny thing is he's the only one expiring, and the noise is about Kadri, not him. Like there's not a
Right.
lot of noise out there about him. So
Which is
I
weird,
don't
right?
like it's a tiny little bit of a distraction in my opinion, but I don't think it's that much of a distraction. I don't know if there's somebody in the locker room being a shithead, but there could be.
Dylan, you're not giving enough credit where it's due there. He's not the only expiring contract. We've got Ryan Lomberg, we've got Justin Kirkland, we've got Jake
Right.
Bean
And
and
there's
Maramonov.
all sorts of noise about these guys.
Yeah,
He's the only one that's worth anything that there would
we're
be
talking about.
real legitimate noise about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know you were
Yeah.
being funny, but still.
I was just being an asshole. Because that's who I am as a person. You know this. You know this.
I do. Um so here's the thing, and I just want to keep going with where I was going before.
Yeah.
Conroy not trading anybody, or Edwards, or however it goes. Not being okay with trading anybody who's not a problem and who's not expiring. And mention Hannafin as well. I forgot to mention Hannafin. He was expiring and probably being a little bit of a problem. But here's the thing: Kadri isn't expiring. He's got several years left. Coleman isn't expiring. These are the two guys who are being rumored and being talked about as guys who could be on the move. I am curious to hear if you think either of them are going to be moved.
I think the three that we've already talked about, even in previous episodes, being Anderson, Kadri, and Coleman, are definitely going to get moved. I think a couple of the lower level guys, as in like a Jake Bean, um, Maramonov, those sorts of guys, are also going to get moved. I don't know. I don't know that they're going to be separate deals. I think they're probably just going to be packaged with one of those other, like with the bigger contracts, just so we can potentially get a third out of the deal or whatever, right? Just get them off the team because they're not needed. But yes, I am fairly confident that Anderson, Kadri, and Coleman are not going to be Calgary Flames next summer.
Anderson, Coleman, and
Or
Kadri?
even yes. I don't think they'll be Flames in April, I guess would be a better.
Like after the trade deadline. You actually think Conroy's going to trade all three of them before the trade or on the trade deadline?
Well, between now and.
Yeah. Yeah, before / on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I can't see that happening. Anderson's gone, you know.
Yeah, he's as good as gone, right? We're
Yeah,
just
he's
trying to figure out the right trade partner and
yeah.
what that deal's going to look like.
I think for Coleman and Kadri, it's going to have to be the player going to management and asking out. And I could see Kadri doing that in the next year and a half, whatever. But they don't have to do that, even if he
No.
asks, right? Coleman, however, I just don't see him asking. So I don't think
see
he's
him
going to be
asking.
gone until the summer. When he's allowed to be extended on July 1st, when he's got 1 year left and they can start extension talks, and he's not going to extend, or he's not going to talk even, maybe that's when they start moving, but thinking about moving him, but I don't think they're going to move him up until, like, I'm just looking at history of how Conroy's done business and how much he fucking loves these mid-ass veterans. And I'm a huge Coleman fan, you know this, but he's a third line shutdown player.
Yeah.
I love third line shutdown players, but holding on to third line shutdown players that are a year and a half, that are 34 or 33 or however old Coleman is, and are expiring the year after, and you're like mid rebuild, like, just fucking
it's time.
move on from some of these guys and fucking bring Gradine in, bring Cairns in, give these guys reps, see what you have before it's too late. See what you have, and let the guys develop a little bit better. Give some of these guys more chance.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. You don't know what you need to draft until you see what you have, right? You have to see if they are good at this level. I mean, we've already seen Gradine. We know that he's ready to play at this level. He proved that in the couple of games that he played, and as well as in the preseason.
Yeah, I mean, guys can look good and not look good. Like, think about Sven Berchi. He looked awesome, right, for a few games, and then proved that he wasn't ready. So Gradine looked ready. That doesn't mean he is ready, but it means that he and Cairns too, who looked ready. I think he got 5 points in 6 games or 7 games or something like that. He looked ready. You got to see if they are, and you're not doing that.
Yeah. Exactly. We're trying to, and by we, I mean the fan base more than anything. But what the Flames should be doing is trying to stock up on some draft picks between, the 2026 and the 2027 draft. And so before you get there, you need to know what you need. It's just you'll never know what you need until you give these guys a chance. It's just mind blowing to me that we have these 30-plus-year-old players on the team when we have legitimate prospects that need a shot. It just, it blows me away.
Yeah. And with Anderson, like, Parekh is hurt. So, like, I would have liked to have seen him get a little bit more ice time than he did. And the game that he got hurt in, he was getting more ice time.
Mhm.
He was on track for far more ice time than he had ever gotten in an NHL game. Although I don't know about his first game last year, but still. Um,
Yeah.
but even though Parek's hurt, we still have Hunter Brustevich, who legitimately looks like a fucking superstar in the AHL.
Right.
Does that mean he's going to be a superstar in the NHL? Absolutely fucking not. Does it mean that
Right.
it's time to give this guy who is waiver waiver eligible so he can go down? You can send him down without losing him. So why aren't you putting him up to give him a fucking shot? You know, he's driving the Wranglers. Him and Gradine are driving the Wranglers to
Yeah.
wins and to scoring and fucking playing power play one, putting up ridiculous fucking numbers. Like at one point, Gradine, I haven't looked in the past couple days, but at one point, Gradine was up to, he was on pace for over 100 points in the AHL. And
Nice.
I don't know if you look at AHL stats very often, but in the last 10 years, I think like 2 or 3 guys have hit 100 points.
Yeah.
Given that's a
Yeah.
really short sample size, but
Sure. But like I said it after the first couple of games of the season this year was that Gradine has earned his spot, and then like three games or 2 games later, they sent him down. And I was just like, what the fuck are we doing? And obviously I get it. At the time, Huberdeau was injured and Pospisil was injured, but I mean, we got to bring guys like Gradine, Cairns up, get rid of Kadri and Coleman, and I don't know anybody else on the team that you could think of on the forward side of things that you would like to see gone, or not necessarily gone, like to see gone, but fine if they leave. Like a therapy, or you know what I mean, like.
so here's the thing. You still need some veteran leadership, right?
Totally.
Huberdeau, especially if we start shipping off some of these other guys, Huberdeau is going to have to be there for us to hit the salary floor.
Mhm.
Also, I think Huberdeau has been really good for the team. He's the only player on the team other than fucking Devin Cooley who's been good every game he's played, even these last two where nobody scored. Huberdeau has been the only one that's been good.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to keep him. Backland ain't going anywhere. But if you're getting rid of Coleman, I don't know if you want to get rid of Farabee. I'm not a Farabee fan whatsoever. But I don't think he's as effective as Coleman is at Coleman's role, but I think he would be fine playing the same role. So I
Yeah.
think if you move Farabee down from the top 6 to play with Backlund, then you could have a Gradine in the top 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The only
Um,
thing for me though is I've really liked Hanzek learning from both Coleman and Backlund on that line.
yeah,
He's
and he's
he's
looked really fucking
really turned into a really good 200-foot player, and is actually looking decent on the penalty kill as well. So I think
he's a really good
obviously
penalty
his
killer.
time with Backlund has been brilliant, and not saying I don't want to see them separate, but I would like to see him have a few more games in that slot just to hammer home some of that defensive responsibility that Backlund can show you. And because I mean Honzek has looked fucking great this year, and I'm really happy with his game and how strong he looks in the corners and along the boards. And yeah, it's been a really, really good season so far for Honzek, and I think
He learned how to
you
use
can
his man
attribute a
body.
lot of that. Yeah. And I mean, I tell you what, like if clearly he spent a lot of the off season focusing on strength,
Yeah.
on his workout. Now, if we can get, say, I don't know, like a Coronado to maybe focus in on some strength, a Zari to focus in on some strength. Obviously Perek needs to focus in on some strength.
Absolutely.
Like for what I don't know what Hanzik did this offseason, but whatever it is, more players need to do it. Because he has flipped a switch in comparison to where he was in the preseason last year.
I know what he
He's
did.
completely
I don't know if you saw, but him and Pospisil worked out together
oh
all
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
summer, all summer.
Yeah,
So
you're
he
right.
worked out with Pospisil, and that's what did it,
Yeah.
right? He had a summer partner who was,
Mhm.
as much as I don't think Pospisil should be a full-time NHLer, he is strong enough to be a full-time NHLer. He's just not skilled enough to be a full-time NHLer.
Right.
So he was training with somebody who knows what it takes to be strong enough in the off season,
Yeah.
and they
Well,
were
good.
pushing each
Yeah.
other. There was lots of video on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good
Um,
for him, right? I mean, it's paid off in my opinion. I I can't see him losing his spot on the Flames unless something drastic happens.
yeah.
But if he continues with the strides that he's been making, he'll be a full timer for sure.
So I kind of want to push back on something though. I don't like as much. Okay, we know Hanzek and Backlund work, right?
Mhm.
Might be the only pair of forwards that work together this year. And as much as I don't want to break that up, I also want to see how Hanzek does without the safety blanket,
Sure.
right? Um, so if he doesn't do good, you can put him back with Backlund. I have fucking no problem with that. But I'd
Right.
like to see him move on to a line with, he's not going to play with Huber though, because they're both left wingers. But
Right.
I'd like to maybe see him play on a line with Frost and Coronado or something like that to see if he can still do those things that he's been doing on the boards. Because I mean, he's okay. People fucking hate when they do this. I'm going to bring up Mangiapane. Mangiapane and Backlund played really fucking well together because when Mangiapane lost a board battle, Backlund was there to pick it up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mangiapane
And
always
it's
tried the board battle, but he couldn't win it without Backlund there
right.
to finish it off. So I want to see. I already know Hanzek is better at board battling than Mangiapane.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's winning those battles.
He's winning those battles. So why wouldn't he be able to do it without Backlund?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who can't win board battles? Almost every other fucking forward on the team. So
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
somebody else needs to be with Backlund to
Yeah.
help
Backlund,
them win those board battles.
Hanzik, and Huberdeau are the only three Flames that are winning board battles right now.
Yeah. Farabee tries his
Um,
fucking damnedest, but doesn't really
I
win.
mean, this is so we do this every year, right? There's always a player that just tries really fucking hard but isn't good enough. And this year it's absolutely Farabee.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
you can't
Like
fault
like
him for his effort level. His effort level
no,
is fucking second to none on the team,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And he's really frustrating to watch on the ice. He really is.
Yeah.
Like he is a bull in the china shop without the grace.
I find Joel Farabee does this thing where he's always trying to win the battles, but he's a step off, or his stick is like a fraction of an inch away from where it needs to be, or like I said, he's just a step slow getting there, but he's never not trying, right?
Right.
Um, which is kind of the opposite of Mangiapane, who was there because he was quick, but once he got there, he couldn't fucking do anything with it.
He's just useless when he got there. Yeah.
And it's funny because, and I've said this a lot over this year, but Farabee is the new face of why expected goals mean fuck all to me. Because you can expect them all you want, but if you can't finish, who fucking cares?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And he's got a lot. His expected goals are good from what I hear. I don't know. I don't look, but from what people tell me, Farabee has really good expected goals numbers. And to me, it doesn't fucking matter because he's not scoring them. And he's had really good expected goals numbers last year, and he wasn't scoring them. So it's not just bad luck; it's that he's not good at scoring.
It's funny, I know this is a thing for the Corsi people. I get it. I didn't expect goals from Farabee, like at all. I expected what we're seeing because I watched him for, a month and a half, 2 months last year.
Yeah.
He's no better. He's no worse
He's
than he
about the
was last
exact
year.
same.
I don't know where they get expected from. Like, why do they expect it? Because of his draft position?
They expect it because of the chances he generates, and he does. He generates chances, but can't finish them. So who
Right.
cares?
Right.
That's the way I look at it. Like, yeah, it would be nice to have more good chances and more excitement during the game because that's one thing this fucking team is missing. Let's be honest,
Mhm.
Chris. It's a really, really hard fucking watch. It's a really, really, really hard watch. It's a really boring watch. And when fucking both the coach and the best defenseman on the team who's been horrible this year, Uyghur, come out and say, "Oh yeah," in their own way, in their own words, they say, "Oh yeah, boring hockey is Flames hockey. That's how we need to win." That and to me, when you're rebuilding, it should be about young skill coming out and showing what they have. But I really feel like whether it's Huska or the system or the lack of skill around the young players and the fact the young players aren't the most skilled young players, but there's no exciting plays going on. There's been several games this year where there's just no exciting plays at all.
There's a lot of exciting plays against.
Yeah.
Like Devin Cooley, I mean, short of standing on his head against Minnesota, right? Like there was some unbelievable saves. I feel so bad for him. Like the man is so far in 5 games played, 3 starts, has a 935 save percentage and a 1.75 goals against average, 0 fucking wins. How is that possible? Like, holy shit, Flames, get your
So
act
it's
together.
not 4 starts.
It was 3 starts.
I think it's 2 starts, isn't it? I think he's only started 2. I could be wrong.
He started 3 and has come in twice.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought he only started 2. Okay. Still, like, he's been lights out. Like I said earlier, and I'm not kidding. Devin Cooley has been the best player for the Flames this season. He's been the most consistent between him and Huberdeau. They've been the most consistent players on the team. There's a lot of players I'm worried about, but I'm not worried about Devin Cooley. Honestly, I'm not really worried about Dustin Wolf either, but Cooley has definitely outperformed him. And I'm not worried about Huberdeau. But those numbers on Cooley are just like, how is that possible? How can you have 0 wins when you have numbers that look like fucking prime Patrick Waugh?
Right. Like what more? I mean, he could not possibly have done anything more against the Wild.
Yeah.
Like really, 1 goal against and so many grade A chances. So many.
So
All we
I
had to
want
do
to
is
pick his game apart
score
a little.
a goal.
Yeah.
Just that's all we had to do, a goal.
You know
But
what's
we just
crazy
did
about him?
our typical perimeter shots to the crest, and
Yeah.
the result is the same.
Yeah. We've got no run support for him at
Right.
all. I kind of want to pick apart his game a little bit in a good way.
Mhm.
So Devin Cooley, it's fascinating to me because he is a big man. He's. Do you still have his page up? What's his size?
Yeah. They list him at 6'5".
6'5", weight
Yeah. 182.
6'5", 182. Ooh,
Sorry,
that's actually a little light.
192.
Okay.
192. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Still
Okay.
light.
So 6'5", 192. That's
Yeah.
okay. Big man, right? He plays like a small goalie. He doesn't. He blocks the puck sometimes just because he can't not. But
Right.
the way he moves around the crease, he plays like a small goalie. And I don't mean that he's showing a bunch of room behind him because he's playing small. I mean he's playing like a small goalie athletically. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
getting from
He's
side to
definitely
side
quicker than
really
I
quick.
thought.
He's anticipating just quite a bit. It looks like he's Wolf, but bigger at
Yeah.
some points. Not quite to the same level, but he's playing like
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a big goalie be as athletic and as smart as he's been this year. I don't expect it to continue like that. He's a 27-year-old guy who played one NHL game before he came to us, or a couple. I don't
Yeah.
expect him to be this all year, but he's been insanely impressive up to this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, his time with the Sharks, he started 6 games with a save percentage of 870 and
Yeah.
goals against of 498. So clearly, we found a goaltender where our goaltending coaching staff hasn't ruined. So that's
Yeah,
impressive. It actually made him better. I just feel really bad for him.
I do
Like, they
too.
have absolutely no run support at all
Yeah,
in a game. Like obviously we know the games against Minnesota are boring, but
Minnesota's not a boring
Minnesota
team
did
anymore, though. They used to
no,
be.
they are not. They looked like they some of those chances were just unfucking real.
Chris, Minnesota on a Tuesday
Yeah.
was always the framework for years. It's been the framework of a game you don't want to watch. But the
Yeah.
past 2 or 3 years, Minnesota on a Tuesday is just as exciting as I don't know, Tampa Bay.
Any
You know
other.
what I mean? I
Yeah. Well,
legitimately think Kirill Kaprizov is a top 4 player, top 5 forward in the league. He is
yeah,
electric. And Matt Boldy is
I was gonna say
probably a top
Boldy is a
20 guy.
stud. Yeah.
They have no
Yeah, no,
top
you're
center, and is Kadri a top center? No, but he's probably better than Joel Eriksson at that position. So at the skill part of it. So
yeah,
maybe improving your center depth, Minnesota. I'm just saying. Um, but yeah,
we
I
have
don't
a
know, man.
couple you
I'm
can
just
have.
what's that?
I said we have a couple they can have.
Yeah. But yeah, back to your question though. Are there other forwards on the team that I could see them getting rid of? Like I was talking about with Farabee, if they get rid of Coleman, I'm not sure if I want them to get rid of Farabee. Would I be upset? No.
Right.
Would I be
Yeah.
upset if they moved Frost? Mm, it's nice
He's
to have a center. Like if you get rid of Kadri, is Zary a center? We don't know. He's kind of not great on faceoffs. So
I'm starting to Frost is starting to grow on me a bit.
Frost
Um
is starting to grow on me too.
I mean he hasn't produced much, but he's been all over it this year.
Yeah.
It hasn't been super consistent, but when he's flying, he's really effective.
And that's the book
And
on him, though. That's how he's always been in Philly.
yeah,
You talk to Philly fans, they'll tell you that
yeah.
he's fun to watch. He skates with the puck really well. He's a
Mhm.
great playmaker, but whether it's that he's never playing with players who can finish it off, or it's that he can't finish it off himself, I don't know what it is. But he doesn't
I
produce
think
very well. But he's one of the only guys who's fun to watch on the team. So
I think we may be kind of in a similar situation from when Huberdeau got here and nobody could receive his pass or take a shot from his pass. I think he needs to have a couple of line mates for a while so as that they can kind of
learn how
see
to
because
do that.
he is sporadic like Huberdeau is, right? Like he'll throw a pass at you when you're not expecting it because you think he's got room, or he goes between somebody's legs in a unorthodox way. I think having a line with Frost, Sharangovich, and Honzek would be interesting
Just keep it like
because
that.
and keep it like that for a while. So I think
Give it 5, 6,
Hans
7 games.
at least
Yeah.
having Honzek in the corner digging the puck out because you do have a little bit of a safety net in Frost because he's all over the place, right? He will come back and fight in the corner with you,
And he's
but then he
fast
just
too.
kind of disappears, right? And he's just all over the fucking place. And
He's
then you
fast
have
for
an
Calgary.
actual shooter, right? And then you
Yeah.
have an actual shooter in Sharangovich. Personally, I think it is time for Coronado to spend 3 games in the presser. Um,
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
if
what's
you've
going
heard this
on with
stat.
him right now.
Can I tell you a fucking absurd stat?
Sure.
2 games ago, I think it was the first game we got shut out. I'm not sure. It might have been the game before. Coronado had 11 shots on net. In my count, there was like 3 high danger, good opportunities.
Right.
But he was rifling them. But I agree with you because he's not been good. Like he's even the 11 shot game, even the 2 goal game, he has not been good at all.
No.
And I don't like just beating up on Coronado because I don't think a lot of our players have been very good.
No,
And I don't
not at all.
like just scratching young players when they're not doing good. I also think we got to look at the veterans. Fuck. Man, Uyghur needs to spend a goddamn day in the press box. Will he? No. But
Right.
he's been fucking awful. I think he leads the league in minus.
I don't think he leads the league.
Uh,
That would
I'll
be
I'll I'll look it up, but I don't know. I think a lot
I
of our players need to spend time in the box, but in the press box. But the problem is there's only a few, like there's only so many seats in the box, and you got to dress a team.
yeah, no, 100%. Coronado is only 3 minuses away from Uyghur too, at
No, I
minus
know.
13.
Yeah, no,
Um,
they've both been fucking awful.
yeah, I don't know what Uyghur's struggle's been. I certainly don't know what Coronado's struggle is. Like like he's become soft as fuck. He is so easy to push off the puck.
Yep.
He was not easy to push off the puck last year. He was like a fucking bull in there.
Yeah.
He had a lot of fight in his game, and I see none now. I don't see an ounce of fight in his game.
Yeah.
There's just he's not mean
Okay.
anymore.
It's not that to me, it's not that the fight isn't there. It's that Okay, Mackenzie Weegar is just real quick. Mackenzie Weegar is league worst at -16. Matt Coronado is second worst at -13, and Braden Shen is third worst at -12.
Shenstone in the league? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So yes, by 3 minuses, Weegar is worst in the league, which
Wow.
isn't surprising. We're 32nd, and he's been bad.
Fair.
Yeah. So,
Well, that's a
like,
stat I bet you he doesn't like.
no, he fucking hates it.
Well, maybe he should play better.
I think he's trying too hard. He's making awful pinches, and he's attacking the puck carrier when he knows better. Like we've all seen it. He knows better. I think I am willing to bet that if Team Canada phoned him right now and told him there is no way you're making the team, he'd be better the next day. If Team Canada called him and said you are making the team, he would be better the next day. He is trying to make that team so hard that he's going outside of what he would usually do.
Right. And oddly enough, him trying this hard will eliminate him from playing on that team.
Bad news, already has. There's no fucking way he's on there.
Yeah, I can't see it.
I'm a huge fan of the player, but you can't play this badly.
Yeah, like they were already on the fence on him already, right? Like he needs to quit focusing on that and start focusing on the team that pays his check.
I could give you fucking 200 guesses and you would not guess who's first in the league in plus. Jacob fucking Trouba.
Oh yeah. No, I saw that actually because they brought that up the other night.
I saw that and I glazed over it for like the last 5 minutes of us talking, and then I just like it just hit me. I was like, oh, what? That's ridiculous.
I have him in another fantasy league. I've got Jacob Trouba. He's got 39.35 fan points in Yahoo.
Yeah.
He's literally ranked 76th in the league
Among all players, yeah.
Yeah.
He's been really good, man. The Ducks are fun to watch. And I wish that we're going a lot longer than I wanted to go here because it's going to be so negative, and it has been negative. But I just wanted to touch on the Ducks, and it can be the Ducks or the Sharks or the Canadians or whoever, whatever team you want it to be. But let's concentrate on the Ducks for a second. So like 4 or 5 years ago, get rid of Fowler, get rid of Shattenkirk. No, I don't know if the years are exactly right, but Fowler, Shattenkirk, Andre Kasha, Chris Kreider, a bunch of, or no, sorry, they just got Chris Kreider, but they got rid of Hampus Lindholm and just a bunch of these players, Rickard Rakell, who were good producing veterans for them. They bottomed out. They got a whole bunch of futures. They're sitting there with fucking Leo Carlson, who's one of the top 5 point getters in the league right now. Cutter Gauthier, who's one of the top few goal getters in the league. They're sitting there with guys like Olin Zellweger, Pavel Minchikov, Jackson Lacombe. They're sitting there with all of these exciting young players who are going to be a part of that organization for a long time. Even Mason McTavish, like a bunch of these guys. And you know what else they have? They've finished their rebuild, and they've converted the extra futures they had and even gotten more of them for taking on bad contracts. And they have Jacob Trouba.
Right.
You know, past captain. They have Radko Gudas, past captain. They have Chris Kreider. They have, is it Alex Killorn? It's either Killorn or Palat. I can never. I think it's
Yeah.
Killorn. One of those two
Florence,
ex-Tampa guys. They have strong veteran leadership.
Yeah.
And they also have all these young guys. That entire core of strong veteran leaders are not the guys who were on the team when they started rebuilding. None of them.
Mm-hmm.
These are new guys that they've brought in, whether it be salary dumps, whether like the Truba thing, or whether it be trading players futures away. Once you have all of these exciting young players, you can trade futures away to get guys like Chris Kreider. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
keeping the young, keeping all of the veterans. Yes, you need 1 or 2, 3, maybe 4 all the time. I do agree with that. You always need a few, but you can recite, like, veterans are not the hard thing to get.
Yeah, you can acquire
Veterans,
veterans, right? That's
strong
easy.
leaders are in free agency all the time. They're always on the trade block. But young, high skilled players are not easy to get. The only way to get them really is by pure luck or by drafting high. Fucking do it.
Well, that's just it, right? Now's not the time to be, veterans, right? Like that's not the time. Get rid
Yeah.
of your veterans, draft the young guys, give them a year or two to come together as an organization, as a team. Then you bring in those veteran leaders, and the ones that are worth something. And once you get to that point, then you can start throwing away draft picks to get those guys in once the rebuild is complete.
Yeah.
Right? Get your high flying guys in here, get your next wave of defenders in here, get them all ready to go. Then you go and acquire people at the deadline or sign free agencies in the summer, whatever the case may be. But you have to get these young players into the organization and start drafting 2 to 3 first rounders every year for the next 2 to 3 years. It was time. Fuck, it was time 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
And to be fair, they started a couple years ago. But it's not doing enough, obviously, because as much as I think Reshny is going to be a good player and Potter could be an NHLer one day, Parekh is going to be a superstar in my estimation in 5, 6, 7 years. But when it comes to forwards, the Flames don't have any high first line, like maybe Gradine. Like, they don't have any high quality, definite first line players. Not that they're ever definite until they are, but you know what I mean? They don't have any of those guys that you'd go and look at, a prospects list or the athletic prospect series, and they'd be talking about how great the Flames center depth is in the prospect pool, or the winger depth. They talk about the depth, meaning the guys who are eventually going to be second and third liners. We have a fucking shit ton of those. We don't have any really, really, really good prospects except maybe Gradine and Parekh, but he's not a forward.
We've got so many middle six guys in the system, whether they're already on the Flames or on the Wranglers or in junior in other leagues.
Yeah.
Middle six is done. Let's
do some top 3 drafting here. Top 3, top
right.
5 drafting over the next few years. And don't get me wrong, you also have to, it's not all about that. It's also about hitting on your later draft picks. Gradine, was what, 32nd overall, 31st overall, something like that. He looks like he could be a first liner in a few years. But
Right.
I'm not going to put that pressure on him. I'm sure he's probably a second liner. But
Yeah.
if you can get those guys from, the 25th to 60th, 70th, 80th picks, then that's awesome. If you can hit on a Gaudreau, that's awesome. But you can't bank on that.
No. No,
Yes,
they're few and
there's
far
the
between. They're one
Yakupov,
off.
there's the Yakupovs and the Lafrenières coming out of the top pick, right? But there's also the McDavids and the Schaefers and the fucking, a lot of really good players, McKinnons, all those types of guys, right? Like all of the like the guys you look at the top scorers every year, it's what McDavid, McKinnon, Matthews, Draisaitl, like all of these guys are top 3 picks. You need those guys.
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah, you
Eichel,
can't.
right? Like you need those guys.
Oddly enough, the Vegas seemed they had their years of finals without him, but
Then they got him,
they got him.
and then they won. Was it the same year? I think it was the same year, wasn't it?
I think it was the year after.
After all those years of everyone saying Jack Eichel was the problem in Buffalo. And I'll always remember this. I saw that, not that it matters to Flames fans, but I remember seeing this one fucking scene of Jack Eichel sitting in the Buffalo Sabres locker room all alone, fucking depressed, screaming at nobody because he was the only guy there. He was fucking angry and sad. And that's when this whole "you can't win with Jack Eichel" thing started. And it was a guy who was upset with his team sucking. A guy that really, really wanted to win so bad that he was upset that his fucking management couldn't do anything right. And then he
I wonder
moves
if
on.
any Flames players do that.
I honestly probably Uyghur.
Right.
That's about it. Anyways, do you have much else to say? Like we've pretty much been going in circles, and it's mostly depressing. There's a whole bunch of dooming going on in Flames fandom, in social media and all that type of stuff. But here we are. We asked for a rebuild. We aren't really getting a rebuild. If you ask the the coaches and the management and the ownership, but I think it's being forced upon them, whether they like it or not. It's going to be a couple years of what we wanted them to do on purpose, but they're doing it by accident, and they're going to resist it at every fucking turn. But it's going to happen.
Will. It's got to happen. Because I mean, after 17 games, possible 34 points, and we only have 10. Surely the writing's on the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Surely.
Okay. Well, make sure you check out ArmChair GM Podcast, our new feeds on Spotify and Amazon. Chris got both of those going up. Obviously, we're not on Hockey Podcast Network anymore. So make sure you check out our link tree. We'll put it in the description of the video for the links to those. And make sure you like and subscribe. Let us know how you're feeling about the forced rebuild that's going on in Calgary. And please, for the love of Christ, if there's anything exciting at all about the Flames that you're excited for, let us know in the comments down below.
That's right. It's going to be a long season, Flames fan, but we'll be here for you. We got your back.
Keep watching.
We're not going anywhere.
Keep watching the players, but don't give Murray Edwards your money anymore. Cheers.
Wow. Cheers. Thanks for coming.